Hello, I'm Rob, and thank you for joining me. This is Cloudship. It's my first ever game. It's a pre-alpha prototype, and I've built this to try and work out whether or not the mechanics that I've created here are fun. I think they are, and I hope they are, but this is going out to the community now to try and get some feedback on whether it is or not. So the aim of the game is to build your base, your Cloudship, to go exploring and to fight. So without further ado, let's jump on into a new game, and we'll see our beautiful Cloudship base here floating via the wind through a horrendous, desolate, low polygon landscape. As you can see here, you've got sand dunes, and you have these black lumps called flotsam, and these are your resources. And the aim will be today for us to collect a few of these and build up our Cloudship. Now over here in the centre is our Cloudship, and we have our health bar at the back in green, so we're fully healthy. On the left here we have our controller, and it shows us, the green line shows us our track over the ground. The helm is the wheel here, and that will turn when we turn the Cloudship. And the engine order telegraph here tells the people in the engine room whether we want to go ahead or astern, full, half and slow, and so forth, and you change that by tapping. Now this little control down at the bottom here is the amount of flotsam or resources that we have in our Cloudship, and as you can see it's nearly at 100% right now. So we can't collect this one over here. I'd love to run over. The hook has come down, but we can't collect that one because we have no buildings, so we have to build stuff first. So let's press B. We might come back to that, but it's usually best just to keep going. So I've pressed B, and we're seeing now we're in build mode. The flotsam indicator is now showing us both the needles clearly. We have the fat one that shows us how much we have, and we have the thin one here that shows us what we would have when we complete the building that we're going to be making here. So this is what we have, and this is what will be predicted after the building. And as you see, we can move through the different buildings using W to go up and S to go down, very much like standard first person controls. Now the buildings that we're most interested in right now is this one here called a boiler chimney, and this will give us thrust, and we're going to put down 2 by left clicking on the surface of the Cloudship there. And now I've put 2 down, you notice that they've gone red, and that's because the amount of flotsam that we need is more than we have in there. So that's no good, so I can only have 2 to start with. So I'm going to now come up here and put a bridge. This is a bridge, the green thing, and this is where as captain of the ship we'll spend our time. If you find that the model goes red if you're off the edge of the Cloudship, it's only because you're too close to the edge. So there we go, we'll pop that in there. So if we press B, we can go back to our main wheel. We can see that our flotsam indicator is showing that we're very low, so we need to go and pick some up. Now let's go and see what we can see first of all. Also, we're watching out for enemies, they might start appearing. It's not normally a problem, but I'm talking so much, that's probably why. Dying by talking too much, well, that would be a first. Anyway, so let's press W to increase the engine order telegraph, and I'm going to put it up to full thrust because I'm looking at this flotsam over here that I'm going to go for. Now the clouds are blowing us across, so we have to steer slightly into clouds, and as we only have 2 boiler chimneys, we're going extremely slowly, so we need really a third to make best use of our Cloudship. But we're crabbing along. If you're ever wondering actually how you're moving across the ground compared to the clouds, the shadows are by far the best indicator. It's quite nice to look up and look at the clouds themselves, but the shadows are where you're going to get most of your information. So we're moving a little bit ahead of the clouds there, so let's move back. You'll notice that the weather system that we're in at the moment, the clouds are moving towards us here. So over the top of the flotsam, hopefully it will be very slow clouds, very slow wind rather, and we'll be able to go slowly. If you go too fast over the flotsam, then the hook will not grab. Now fortunately, we've got a cloud just behind us, that's lucky, to show us how quickly we're going to be going over if we were to select stop. You've probably spotted before I have, there's an enemy over there, and he's coming on in, so we're going to have to get a move on. With 2 chimneys, it's rather difficult to outrun an enemy. However, with 3, we'll have much better chance. So let's see if we can get a third one built before he comes to us. Quite often, this is the point at which I die, because I failed to pick up Flotsam, and then the enemy will just be on top of us. So now you see the hook has swung too far there, and now we've got to try and keep our position to let the hook swing down and over the Flotsam. He's coming close. The thing that I said might happen, I'm using too much thrust. I'm too excited, that's my problem. I'm far too excited. I've just enjoyed playing this so much that I just lose track of what's going on. He's still coming in though. So I'm holding down the right mouse button to move the camera around. He's coming in. If I go too fast, then that hook will swing. We're just going to have to be patient. He's coming quite fast. I think he might have the wind helping him there because he's cutting along. I think we're going into wind. Yeah. Oh, here we go. This is not begun well. So we're going to be taking some damage in a moment, I should think. He's going to get close and then he's going to try and... There we go. He's now spiralling round us. I hope he doesn't destroy one of our chimneys. That would really ruin my day. And I'd have to start this again. Oh, should we run off? I'm wondering if running is the better part of value in this one. Let's go for another Flotsam. I'm going to try and outrun him. This doesn't always work. Now, if you lose your bridge or your boiler chimneys, then boiler chimneys, if you lose one, that's not a disaster. You can still move, and by using the prevailing winds you'll be able to get over to Flotsam. That's happened to me more often than not. If you lose your bridge, then hope that you have enough Flotsam left in the store. Now, because we're moving away from him, his shots can't quite travel far enough, but this is quite a clip that we've got going on here, so let's slow up. If you need to stop suddenly, then going full astern is quite powerful. The effect of that is large. So here we come. Watching the claw. So we're just going to drift over. And am I grabbing it? Yes, I've got it. Fantastic. Now he's coming up behind us quite fast, so I'm gonna. He's side slipping. He must be in a bit of a wind system now. Great. Right, now this will put the pit. Now we could now choose to put a cannon on, but I'm not. I'm going to put a chimney on, so we get a bit more thrust. Now, if while selecting a building, and you can see the building selected because it's highlighted like that, I can press Q and E to rotate them. So I'm gonna make this one a bit wacky. Let's turn this one backwards for fun and put it right up close to there. Fantastic. As you can see now, I can afford not very much. Oh, a house and an extra store. Okay, but we're now chipping along at a fair old pace, and we've made some distance between them, which is good because it will allow us to get this Flotsam up ahead. Now you can see this Flotsam here is the cloud is moving towards us, so we'll be going into wind, but that's okay. It's not moving too fast, but that's okay. That will give us a bit of time, and then we can run away by jumping into the wind. The enemy AI makes some use of the wind, but it's not very reliable, so it'll often make silly decisions, and you can use that to your advantage. Not such that you would guess exactly what they're going to do, but you can make better decisions than they will. So there is your advantage. You're more intelligent than the artificial intelligence that I've coded into this. And of course, for those of you who know me, I use the phrase artificial intelligence very, very, very with quotation fingers. Here we go. He's coming in now. There he is. And now we're going to run away. So, do we have enough for a cannon? I'm pretty sure that we don't. We do. Let's have a cannon. Shows what I know. Right, fantastic. Now we've got a cannon on the front. We could turn and fight him, but I don't like the odds. If I'm honest, he has 4 cannons on that thing. One pointing forwards, one to the left, one to the right. So let's have a look for Flotsam. Let's go over there. Let's go over that way. Now you can see from the amount of space we have on here, we could put another boiler chimney on, and that would give us quite a considerable amount of thrust. However, I've found through testing that 3 is enough. You can keep the enemies at a reasonable arm's length, and yet you have lots of room to put cannons and stores and so forth. As soon as you put 4 on, you run out of room pretty fast. Okay, let's Let's get a bit close to this flotsam. Yeah, he's coming. So we're going to put another cannon on, and then we're going to go and get him. I think that's... I mean, he's asking for it, really. So where's this? The cloud's moving towards us there, so we're into wind. So we don't want to use too much. Coming nice and slow. And that should slow us down. And here we go. Right. Hopefully that's enough for flotsam. I've made this mistake before. No, it's not enough for a cannon. It's still highlighted in red, which means we can't afford it. So let's roll over to this other flotsam over here. Our enemy's still tracking. He's not as quick as us, but I find that they do jump up on you pretty quickly if you're not paying attention. Moving round here to the side. He's coming in. He's going sideways, which would suggest that he's in quite a strong weather system. He might have to fight his way out of that. Yes. The weather systems are built using gradient Perlin noise for the technical types amongst you. And if you're really interested to know how that works, I may do a blog entry on that, but don't hold your breath, because I don't think it's as exciting as it immediately sounds. Now you see, I'm using full thrust here with 3 boiler chimneys, and still I'm only just inching along the ground. I'm not really going very fast at all, and that would suggest we're in a strong wind. So I have to be a bit careful coming up to this flotsam that I don't come to a halt and start drifting back. Oh, I've just come out of a strong wind and I lurched forward there. That's a bit unfortunate. Wonder where the bad guy is. I'm concentrating on the flotsam. This could go wrong. We're going to be alright. We got it. Okay, there he is. There's another one over there. But going sideways will allow us to get a bit closer. We should have enough for another cannon now, surely. Yeah, we do. Right, let's have another one on there. Now I'm going to point both forwards, which doesn't always work, but we'll give that a go. Off we go. Let's go get him. All the hooks dropped there because I got close to that flotsam. But we're not going for you, I'm afraid, Mr. Flotsam. You'll have to stay down there. Remnants, whatever, past civilization. Right, now because we're zooming towards him, the range finding is not very clever. So we have to move slowly if possible. His range finding is also not very clever, fortunately. So the buildings on the top of the enemy obey the same rules as you do. So if you destroy his chimney, he can't move. If you destroy the bridge, he can't move. If you destroy the main base, then he's dead. And if you destroy a cannon, then he won't be able to shoot from that direction. So it's the same deal. We're shooting a bit short, and I think that's because we're being blown in slightly different directions. He's given us some damage there. Oh, he's taken out a cannon! You rotter. Right, we'll try and get round on him now. Have a go at this. Yeah, the range finding is deciding that it needs to be. We're moving too fast. It can't understand what we're doing. Oh, we're close. That's a hit. Right, we'll have that one. So we're going to have to hit him quite a lot, be able to destroy him. And then he'll sink down to the sand. And oh, that's it. He's taking some damage there. This is good. So we're actually being blown sideways, which is giving us the ability to side slip that we would not normally have. Oh, I don't want to get too close to it. Because we're a bigger target. Now you saw that the health jumped up there. That's a hilarious bug. Right, he's running away. But he has a cannon on the back, so that's not helping us. Take him out. Yay! And he's down. Fantastic. Now, just to explain a couple of other bits about these other buildings that are in there. We have a store here that gives you more flotsam. I think there's a bug associated with that at the moment, but still it does work, and you'll see the flotsam inside it increase as you collect more, and that's only to allow you to store more if you manage to do so. And you have a little house down here which we'll build for fun. They don't really do anything. In the future they will do, but I needed some more buildings to test out the system. And that is what we have so far. Oh, another enemy is spawned. He'll be coming in very shortly. Let's slow up and give him a chance. So there is the game. The mechanics of the game as they are. The idea is to build your cloud ship, to place things how you want, to then go exploring, kill other bad guys, find flotsam, and so on. That's the core of the game. I want to add exploration, things to find, quests to go on. But before I do any of that, I need to make sure that the core idea is great. And also, as you can no doubt see, the graphics are very, very basic at the moment. That's purely intentional. They were quick to put together. They have the rough aesthetic that I want, but they're not there. And that's okay, I'll come back to those if you think it's fun. So download it, give it a good go. I'm not too worried about little bugs, but is it in general fun to play? That's what I need to know. So thank you very much for your time. I've been Rob, this is Cloudship, and I look forward to hearing your feedback on social media or links in the description below. Thank you very much. Bye bye.